cove where the warm trade winds blow and the silver blue dolphins glide, where the rum's always strong and the nights run long and the tide is a thief at your side. When the moon's riding high and the lanterns are low and the waves start to shimmer bright, come aboard, cast away, let the sea have its say on another Caribbean night. Caribbean nights, like Caribbean days, more often than not, they're wilder than not, in the boldest of ways. Caribbean nights, neath Caribbean stars. I sail from a cove where the warm trade winds blow and the silver blue dolphins glide, where the rum's always strong and the nights run long and the tide is a thief at your side. When the moon's riding high and the lanterns are low and the waves start to shimmer bright, come aboard, cast away, let the sea have its say on another Caribbean night. Caribbean nights, like Caribbean days, more often than not, they're wilder than not, in the boldest of ways. Caribbean nights, neath Caribbean stars. Oh, rogue with a grin, could win or give in, out there past the bars. Drums on the shore keep a whispering lore of the captains who never came home, and the gulls overhead cry of treasure and dread where the reefs hide a kingdom of bone. But the breeze tastes the spice and the gamble feels right when your heart's set on freedom's bite. Raise a toast, stake your claim, let the world know your name on another Caribbean night. Caribbean nights. Caribbean nights. I sail from a cove where the warm trade winds blow and the silver blue dolphins glide, where the rum's always strong and the nights run long and the tide is a thief at your side. When the moon's riding high and the lanterns are low and the waves start to shimmer bright, come aboard, cast away, let the sea have its say on another Caribbean night. Caribbean nights, like Caribbean days, more often than not, they're wilder than not, in the boldest of ways. Caribbean nights, neath Caribbean stars. Oh, rogue with a grin, could win or give in, out there past the bar. Mars. Oh, the drums on the shore keep a whispering lore of the captains who never came home. And the gulls overhead cry of treasure and dread, where the reefs hide a kingdom of bone. But the breeze tastes the spice and the gamble feels right when your heart's set on freedom's bite. Raise a toast, stake your claim, let the world know your name on another Caribbean night.
Forge Gathering 6, and my voice is shot, so you'll have to forgive the more sexy inflection, if you will. However, I decided it'd be fun to go through and look at all the peace offerings that people left Bobo. My friend Iron Captain left me a bottle of Viking blood, imported from Denmark, don't you know? Based on a recipe from the 1700s. Viking blood is infused with hibiscus and ginger. And while opened off camera, I have yet to taste this, which I will now be remedying. You like the shot glass, by the way? You might recognize it if you tuned into the Spell Shots Against Humanity stream last summer. That is absolutely gorgeous. The honey from the mead, mixing with the hibiscus, with the ginger coming up through the back. This is absolutely delightful. Oh, man. This is absolutely going back in the pantry, and I will be saving it for a long time yet. It's not the only mead I was gifted, as my friend Archaeopirate also gave me some Moonjoy Meadery Pirate's Blunder, pineapple, banana, caramel, and rum barrel chips. It's a rum-flavored mead. Although, unlike the Viking's blood, which comes with a cork, this comes with a cap, which means I'll have to wait for a special occasion to open it. Spell shots. Gentlemen, I think it's time. Full day.
Shots Against Humanity. A love child of various origins, to say the least. Inspired by the Hot Asian DM's video on replacing spell slots with shots of alcohol, and Shez Aiden's Wizard Battles. Also Hot Asian DM's video on using the white cards from Cards Against Humanity. Like when people have to roll, roll perception. Okay, what do I see? The white half of Barack Obama. Like that. But those are now the spells. It is a tournament bracket style wizard duel. 2 wizards enter, 1 remains. And then 2 more enter, and then 1 remains. And then another 2 enter, and then 1 remains. And then another 2 enter, and 1. At the beginning of each round, 2 wizards enter the arena with 30 HP. A coin toss determines who casts first. The first wizard to cast will say, I cast, takes a shot, draws a card, and they have to say what's on that card. It is then up to the commentators to describe what has taken place on the field. Now, of course, after casting, the wizard rolls a d20 to determine damage, and that plays in to what the commentators describe happening on the field. Now, if there are certain lines you will not cross, we understand that, but understand that if you draw said card that you will not say, you have to take a second shot of alcohol. Magical backlash, it's a bitch. Needless to say, the whole affair is naughty debauchery at its best, and goddammit, I wouldn't have it any other way. There is a bit of a catch with these, however. This up-and-coming round of Spell Shots Against Humanity, which time and date has yet to be decided, has in the past been a charity event, and so will this. Our friend Defying Cupcake recently had a bout with cancer, and we hosted the stream as a way to help raise money to help her financial situation. It has since returned, and so shall Spell Shots, as well as the Lookout Cleans Up Cancer stream, which will take place later in the summer, as next week, Derek as Kami, Homebrew Himbo, Military Fox, and myself are all going to dress up in costumes, with Derek dressing up as a butler, for he has a special role to play. More will be discussed on that later. But we're going to play Goblin Cleanup Crew. For the Lookout Cleans Up Cancer stream, we're going to spend virtually all day playing games that revolve around cleaning shit up in maid outfits. Now back to the Spell Shots. In the future, when we host Spell Shots, sometimes it will be Spell Shots Against Humanity, and other times it will be Spell Shots for charity. Against Humanity will more or less just be a group stream. A few select people will be chosen to participate, and it'll all be for laughs. But when we do it for charity, the winner of the tournament will have all of the money raised during that stream donated to a charity of their choosing. Whoever said nothing good ever came from drinking alcohol? I mean, my parents drank, and I'm here.
And we're back. Now, you may notice things are a bit different. I'm a bit more tentacly, and I don't have the background. Well, that's because I'm not on the big computer. I'm on the laptop. And it's just working perfectly, beautifully. I'm also not got my mic because it's also in the crate with all of the monitors and the stuff to make the big laptop go woohoo. I'm actually on my Raycon. These are the what are they? They're Raycons. They're not everydays. They're not the everyday earbuds, but they are the high crushless performance outdoorsy Raycons. I don't know. I'll have to get better at doing a Raycon commercial, even though we're not sponsored by Raycon, but I am wearing my Raycons. So you love the beard, Puffy Cheetah. Well, I love the beard too. And maybe when it's gonna stay for there's 10 braids in it. There's 10 tentacly braids in it. It's gonna stay for a while. Um yeah, no, I gotta get better at doing a good Raycon earbuds commercial. Maybe we could get sponsored by Raycon. I mean, the Bard Father was sponsored by Raycon every once in a while. So um it's the only earbuds you use. It's the only earbuds I use. I am not in a hotel, Kirk. I am in corporate housing, temporarily in this building until the end of next week when I'll be going to a different corporate housing because the corporate housing I wanted wasn't available by the time I needed it. So they decided that they were going to put me somewhere else, and that one wasn't available when I needed it. So they said, "We got you here for 2 weeks, and then you're going over there." So, but that's that. That's why we've got the little laptop, and so far it's working. It's working great. I mean, why wouldn't it work great? The laptop is just basically it's a little more powerful than the desktop, but it's got the same components in it. It's a ROG Strix 18-inch gaming laptop with a AMD Ryzen 9000 something chip, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5060, I think something like that. And it's got 64 gig of RAM instead of 32 gig of RAM. So it's virtually the same thing as my desktop. And I built it that way. Well, I didn't build it that way. I found it that way. Roof overhead beats no roof overhead. Yes, especially since the last 2 days it has been raining. Um, Before we continue, I'd like to welcome everybody and welcome Puffy Cheeto. H-Town Saint, Puffy's brother, the Puffy brother, Otorius, Kirk. I thought I saw Jim in the chat too. Is he in the chat? I did not see Yokai. Did I? I saw Jim. Jim's in the chat. Hello, Jim. Welcome in. I did not see Yokai. Is Yokai in the chat? If not, she'll be here. But I wanted to get that out of the way, and I wanted to get out the opening. We are Rogue Bard Advice, a D&D, TTRPG, archaeology, sports, and everything nerdcast. You guys send me questions on roguebardadvice@gmail.com, and I sit there and answer your questions, whether it's D&D related, or whether it's archaeology related, or whether it's just something off the wall, like how do I pack up my minis for travel, which we will have later. Hello, Crimson Honda. Welcome in. Welcome in. You're just getting started. By the way, I want to ask a question. How does the Raycon mics sound to you guys? Are they good? Do we want to go back to the Fi or to the Fifine microphone? Uh, Let me know in the chat. Tonight's episode is going to be a little weird because we are doing it on the laptop, and I usually have three screens going. There's Yokai. Hello, Yokai. We were just talking about you. I usually have three screens going with everything that I've got going up. So we're gonna try and get through it. Hopefully no glitchy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no glitchy. And with that being said, go ahead and if you like the content, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It gets me more exposure out there, and it gets people come in. Hey, Kevin, Kevin's back. Welcome in, Kevin. Um, yeah, I knew there was going to be a small echo. I can't do much about it. Maybe I could turn the mic and everything down, um, but there's not going to be much about it. I did turn off my monitoring, so I don't know when I'm here, or I don't know what I'm saying or anything in my headsets. So, with that being said, solid for what they are, 7.2 out of 10. Thanks. Um, but yeah, no, gonna be a weird learning curve show tonight. Um, expose pirate, subscribe. Yes, expose me. If you're gonna expose me, Kirk, I want $30 for my novel. And that's a shameless plug. Tonight, lawful good. Really? Really? Lawful good? That should mean something to somebody out there. Lawful good. Really? Really? You don't lawful good? Oh. Well, let's get to questions because we have four or five tonight. I don't remember how many I put in here. I think five. But let's get to questions. And question one comes from Puffy Cheeto. Ask each of your characters the famous trolley problem question. There is a trolley hurtling towards five people, bound on the tracks. There's only the only impact your character can make is to switch the tracks to one where a single person is bound on the tracks. Does your character switch the tracks? Why or why not? Now, I did this question with 10 different characters. Okay? 10 characters. And those characters are the paladin, the cleric, the fighter, the barbarian, the wizard, the sorcerer, druid, ranger, and finally bard. Now we're going to go through them and explain why they did or did not do their action. Paladin, lawful good. His decision? No. He refuses to flip the switch. He refuses to take action at all, any action. The paladin treats intentionally killing an innocent as a breach of oath. Pulling the lever would be a direct violation of that oath. It would be a deliberate act of murder, even if it saves more lives. They would exhaust every other option first. Warnings, physical intervention, or divine aid, and accept the tragic outcome rather than be the direct agent of a killing. That's the paladin. It's just a runaway trolley? No, no, it's not a runaway trolley. This is where I like role playing me and the factor of dice. I set what I want me, the player, to do as a success and what is plot relevant on a fail. This is to me as a player an RN Jesus moment. It could be, could be. However, I did this based on normal alignments for the normal characters, for the normal classes. So, cleric, neutral good. Yes, the cleric flips a switch to save 5. Cleric's duty is to preserve life and relieve suffering. When forced to choose, they take the merciful, pragmatic route that minimizes total loss. They would grieve the one loss and perform rites to honor that life afterward. You can't cast a spell and make it hit all 6 if you roll high enough. No, you can't cast a spell. No, 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 no. Your question said the only action they can take is to flip the switch or not cast a spell, not anything. So no, they can't cast a spell to make it hit all 6. Well, saying I do have a set of dice, and everybody should go and get this set of dice from KrakenDice.com, and it's called it's Sarah's set, right? It's Sarah's set, and it's a set of loaded dice, basically. Basically, it's a set of loaded dice, but it's a really awesome set of dice. And if you haven't already gotten any sets of the Man Shorts dice, I am plugging Man Shorts tonight. I don't care. Go and get the sets of Man Shorts dice. The profit would really help the Bard Father out. He still is getting residuals back from those, so long as Kraken Dice pays him. He was having an issue last time with Kraken Dice not paying him for the dice. So, but moving forward, we've got the fighter next is lawful neutral. Yes, the fighter flips the switch to save the 5. Why? The fighter acts from duty and practical responsibility. With no lawful alternative to save everyone, they choose the option that reduces casualties. The choice is grim, but seen as the responsible fulfillment of their role as the protector. Go to Kraken, get the Man Shorts dice. They are all so beautiful. Yes, they are. I have all 5. I have all 5 sets of Man Shorts dice because I got one of the first sets of the first set of Man Shorts dice. Barbarian, chaotic neutral. Decision, yes. Flips the switch to save 5. Driven by immediate instinct and a visceral urge to stop mass harm, the barbarian reacts quickly to prevent the larger tragedy. They act on raw impulse rather than moral theory, prioritizing the greater number in the heat of the moment. Finally, my guy, the rogue, chaotic neutral. Do we flip the switch or not? Yes, we flip the switch to save the 5. The rogue is outcome focused and pragmatic. Fewer deaths is the clear utilitarian result. They may feel guilt or rationalize the act afterwards, but in the moment they choose the practical path. I'm going to save 5 over you. The lives of the many outweigh the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, kind of thing, right? The wizard, neutral good. Yeah, of course, the wizard flips a switch to save the 5. Wizard rapidly analyzes consequences and ethical frameworks and concludes that minimizing total loss is the least harmful outcome. They accept the moral burden and may later seek ways to prevent such dilemmas. And we're down to the sorcerer, people. Sorcerer is chaotic neutral. But does he choose to flip the switch? No, he doesn't. The sorcerer resists being the direct agent of another's death and tends to trust fate or personal instinct. They balk at making a deliberate choice to kill one, even if it's to save five. Their refusal stems from a personal code about agency and interference rather than a principled utilitarian calculus. So the sorcerer will kill the five to save the one because that's the path that the trolley is on. Would it depend on how rich that one guy was for the rogue? No, no, because guess what? When we kill the one, then the rogue will just loot the one's body. Because why? Because he's a rogue and he'll have all the loot anyway. So Druid is next. The Druid is neutral good, and yes, he'll flip to switch to save the five. He values life and balance. The Druid chooses the action that preserves the greater portion of the natural web. They will mourn and honor the single life loss and work to restore balance afterwards. A Ranger, neutral good, flips the switch to save the five. The Ranger is a practical guardian who protects communities when forced to choose. They save the greater number and then tend to the aftermath. Their focus is on preserving as much life as possible and preventing future harm. And finally, the Bard. The Bard is chaotic good. Yes, he flips the switch to save the five, and he because he's acting from compassion and quick moral instinct. The bard chooses to save the many and then uses empathy, words, and comfort to help survivors and mourn the loss. They accept the emotional cost while trying to heal those affected. So out of this is what I'm getting out of this. A lawful good and a chaotic neutral flip the switch. Or don't do anything at all. They let the five die. Everybody else flips the switch to kill the one to save the many. Now, Puffy Cheeto, isn't that the same principle as Spock and Kirk did when they both sacrificed themselves in the warp core chamber to save the Enterprise? Your patron told you to do it. That's a warlock. Rogue did not let five die. Rogue, well, yeah, he let the five die, but he did. He flipped the switch. Did he not flip the switch? No, he flipped the switch. Yeah, he flipped the switch to kill the one. I had to think about that. Captain Kirk would change the scenario. Well, I think Captain Kirk would be a wizard or a sorcerer. And instead of doing nothing, I think Captain Kirk would say, I don't care how big the trolley is, I cast Fireball. It is a compromise. It absolutely is a compromise, Kevin. You're absolutely right on that. So, Puffy Cheeto, I am glad you got a great answer to that question, and I hope it was worth it. Because question two, we're chugging right along, people. Question two of the evening is also from Puffy Cheeto. I think I gotta. How hard do you think it would be to play a lawful good rogue? Hmm, a lawful good rogue, eh? Dang it. It would actually be doable and rewarding, but it requires deliberate choices about motivation, methods, and party fit. You'll trade some classic rogue tropes, trickery, selfishness, and outright theft, for a focus on rules, honor, and doing the right thing, while still using stealth, skill, and cunning. A rogue archetype versus alignment stereotype, rogues are mechanically built for stealth, deception, and opportunism. Lawful good characters prioritize order and duty and helping others. Reconciling these means leaning into the skill set of a rogue while changing the why behind their actions. Tensions you'll face. Using deception for a greater good. Is lying to save lives acceptable? Theft or acquiring items when laws or owners conflict with justice. You know what? Let me go back to the live scene here. I need to do that. Working with morality and flexible party members, or I'm sorry, working with morally flexible party members. You got to define your clear moral code. You got to pick rules for your character. Never harm innocents, always return stolen goods if possible. Obey lawful authorities unless they're corrupt. Use that code to justify stealthy or deceptive tactics as tools, not ends. Reframe your rogue skills as service tools, stealth for reconnaissance to protect innocents, sleight of hand to return stolen heirlooms to rightful owners, deception used to mislead villains, not to exploit civilians. Pick a complementary subclass and background. Subclasses that emphasize utility and non-lethal options. Scout, Inquisitive, or a social-focused rogue fit well. Backgrounds like Soldier, City Watcher, Acolyte give lawful or service-oriented hooks. Set expectations with the table. Tell your DM and party your alignment and code so conflicts can be role-played, not disruptive. Ask the DM for in-game consequences and opportunities that let you shine. Investigations, protecting NPCs, lawful institutions. Use non-lethal and lawful options mechanically. Favor non-lethal takedowns, social skill checks, and evidence gathering. When theft is necessary, aim to return or compensate later. Document your reasons in character. Roleplay examples to inspire you, Puffy Cheeto. The reluctant thief for justice, a rogue who steals incriminating documents from corrupt magistrates to expose them, then turns the evidence over to lawful authorities. The infiltrator who protects, a spy who sneaks into enemy camps to free prisoners and sabotage weapons without killing, always following a strict code of minimizing harm. And finally, the lawful investigator, an inquisitive rogue who uses interrogation, surveillance, and legal channels to bring criminals to trial rather than executing vigilante justice. When it's hardest and how to handle it. The hardest moments when the party wants quick profit from theft or when the law is itself unjust. How to handle it. Roleplay internal conflicts, negotiate compromises. For example, accept a cut only if proceeds go to victims, or push for lawful solutions, arrest, evidence submission, etc. Use these moments for character growth and memorable scenes. So stuff's going on in chat. So playing a well-meaning but deceptive politician. Maybe. Kind of like Robin Hood, redistribute from the rich to give to the poor. Yes, yes, Robin Hood would definitely count. And then a lawful good rogue flips the usual expectations in a way that creates rich role playing, opportunities, moral dilemmas, clever problem solving, and dramatic tension with both villains and allies. It's not harder mechanically, just more intentional narratively. And that's where the fun lives. Now, now, with that being said, I have built and am going to be playing a lawful evil rogue in the campaign with Military Fox and Popo Blanco and Archeo Wolf and Cat. You guys don't know Cat yet. Um, but I will be playing a Lawful Evil Rogue. And my Lawful Evil Rogue is actually based on Raymond Reddington from The Blacklist. If you haven't seen The Blacklist, I suggest you go watch The Blacklist. It's a great show. Hold on, I might close something and nope, I've got it. Okay, so there we go. So thanks for the questions, Puffy Cheeto. You might have another question in here somewhere. Um, I actually think you do. Um, but we're going to move on to question three. I hope the answer was great for you. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope it helps you in creating a lawful good rogue at some point in time. I want to see it. And no, you can't be just Robin Hood. On to question three, and it's from somebody who is or is not a clone of somebody else. What is the best way to store my huge collection of finely painted miniatures? And I am sure we can all guess who this question is from. It is from Kirk. Boo, evil characters, boo. I hope you at least play it well. Remember, lawful evil characters resemble lawful good characters on the surface in most settings. So, Kevin, my lawful evil rogue is lawful to the point where he follows the rules and he follows the law and everything else, but he's got a moral code that he's lawful to. He's lawful to his own moral code, right? And it's almost like he creates the laws and he can bend or break the laws when it suits him. But if somebody else bends or breaks the laws, it's immediate punishment for them. Teeny tiny pelican boxes, one per mini. Is this a quasi faux Kirk's? Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Um, so yeah, my character has a code, and he lives by that code, and he's lawful to his code. And anybody who breaks that code has to deal with him, basically. He is judge, jury, and executioner if somebody breaks his code, or even breaks the thieves' code. Because there's a code amongst thieves, and if you break it, what happens? Well, you get ostracized. But it's my character's morality that he is the end all be all. Like, you have to answer to him. If he catches you, if you've broken a code that he had set forth and he catches you, there is 10 times more punishment that's going to be delved out than, say, if the paladin catched or caught you. So get what is very evil? The tiny, teeny, tiny little pelican boxes, or my character? Yes, Kirk, that would definitely cost you an arm and a leg because I just spent $250 on a Pelican case for the laptop, for the gaming laptop. So I would say they actually have, and it depends on how many minis you have, but they actually have crates and cases and everything else that are filled with the pluck and pull foam where you can make your minis, put your minis into a square that are the same size if you just pick and pluck the foam. And Sorry, I got to take that one out. I got it's, but you can make the boxes for your minis the exact size that you need. And yeah, it's expensive. It's not cheap, but it's not overly dramatically crypto coin expensive. So, but I would go get one of those. They're pretty large. Depending on how many minis you have, you could probably fit all of them in there because what you have like five, right? Five that are meticulously painted. Say meticulously painted because I know you still have some gray unpainted minis out there. So, wouldn't the reflection in a mirror, magic mirror, be the best place to store the minis since they're probably fictional? Probably. Although, who knows? Kirk might be fictional. Speaking of fictional Kirks, I have titled my next book in the series, and it is going to be called The Search for Silver. Talk amongst yourselves, try and figure it out. I guarantee it, you won't figure it out, but you might. Um, but it's not forthcoming, but it's on the burner to be started to be written. I have a very I have a very interesting opening scene for this novel. And the second novel, I have been requested to make more spicy. So it will be more spicy. No, it's not The Search for the Real Kirk, although that would be a fun documentary. The Search for the Real Kirk. The Society of Chris. I no, that's not a piratey book. And the trilogy of the books are called the Sins of the Sins of Treasure Island. So that's the encompassing trilogy, The Sins of Treasure Island. So, but moving forward, it's 9:36 and we want to get this we want to get through this so we can try to run Deadly Dungeon here instead of going over to the Discord. I know I said something about it going into the Discord, but I think I've got it. If you're going to start dressing like anybody, you better start dressing as like Waluigi. I don't look for Waldos. I look for Waluigi. Anyway, moving right along to question four. And question four comes from, I have to see, if you could play out the hypothetical, if an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, who would win scenario, what would be your hypothetical outcome? This was an interesting and intriguing question, Puffy Cheeto, and I just had to look at it and I had to look at it from many different perspectives. And the perspective that I came up with, since we all we all know I'm a big Transformers fan, and since I've just been on a binge lately watching all of the Marvel MCU movies in date order, not release order, but in chronological canon order, I had to go with the two largest characters in each franchise, Galacticus and Unicron. That would be my hypothetical outcome. They're both world eaters. They're both cosmic chaotic entities. I mean, one turns into a giant robot. One's the size of a planet that turns into a giant robot. The other is the size of a celestial who eats planets. So I guess it would all come down to energy versus mass. Unicron's got the mass, and Galactus has the energy. Autobots unite. Decepticons. Why does it have to be a piratey book? You can't take a break for piracy for other interests. You're multifaceted, Chris. I am multifaceted. And maybe I will write a. Ooh, that gives me an idea, Kevin. That gives me an idea. Now, Puffy Cheeto might like this idea. But what if we take Puffy Cheeto's idea for the Society of Chris and turn it into an eyes wide shut situation? How would that work? How would that work for a novel, Puffy? You tell me. You tell me later. I don't want your answer now. I want your answer later. But yeah, I like I like that matchup. The irresistible force being Galvatron and being Unicron, and the immovable object being Galacticus or Galactus. Who knows? Oh, you know, so I have a bit of knowledge about that movie, and it was that movie. It was that movie that pushed Nicole Kidman to start filing for divorce from Tom Cruise. It was that movie right there. She absolutely, while it was a movie that she was in, I don't believe that she was in what was 100% behind that movie, especially based on what it was, especially based on what it presented. So if you guys haven't ever seen Eyes Wide Shut, it's a psychological thriller kind of thing, but not a horror movie. Um, but it wasn't a full NC-17 rated X movie either. Um, it was just that. Yeah, there's no other way to explain it. If you haven't watched it, just go watch it and form your own opinion on it. So, but anyway, Puffy I hope you liked the answer I gave you for that one. Um, we'll discuss Tom Cruise at a later date, Puffy Cheeto. So tension horror, yeah, it could, yeah, yeah. It was a secret orgy club. It was Jeffrey Epstein on Kool-Aid Club. So, or Harvey Weinstein on Acid Club. But yeah, yeah. It was Caligula brought to the 21st century. Yes and no. Yes and no. Depends. But let's get off of Tom Cruise. We'll discuss Tom Cruise later because I actually have his his unofficial biography because in high school I had to do a report on somebody famous and I chose Tom Cruise. So with that being said, Puffy, I hope you got a great answer out of that. It was a fun question. I loved that question. Uh, please send me more like that question, and maybe we do something immovable forces versus or irresistible forces versus immovable objects in a daily dungeon or in a deadly dungeon kind of thing. But who knows? Moving on to our final question of the evening before we get into good things of the week and deadly dungeon. And our question 5 is from Yokai. And Yokai, I absolutely loved this question because it rounded out the D&D night tonight. I love this question. No, I didn't want to minimize that. I want to maximize that. And the question is, hey, pirate, what modern jobs do you think the classes would have now? There is the obvious ones of priesthood for clerics and veterinarians for druids, but I'm thinking the weirder stuff. Maybe something more specific, like an exorcist for a cleric, etc. Thanks. Yukai. Well, Yukai, I love this question, and it got me thinking. It got me thinking a whole heck of a lot. I just got to go open everything. Now, the martial classes. You have barbarians, fighters, monks, paladins, rogues, right? Barbarian. Barbarian is going to be your demolition specialist. They get paid to safely smash buildings apart with sledgehammers during structural teardowns. Your barbarians are going to be your Wreck-It Ralphs. Your fighter, historical European martial arts instructor. They obsess over weapon mechanics, frame data, and teaching exact sword techniques. Okay, I got to move these out of the way so I can see the chat too. So, barbarians, pro wrestlers too. Yes, absolutely. Monk, a parkour instructor, or a stunt double. They use perfect body mastery to leap off top buildings and execute flawless physical choreography. Paladin would be part of the Illuminati? Maybe. Though a paladin might work for MI5 or for Interpol because paladin, internal affairs investigator. They strictly police their own organizations to uphold code, ethics, and root out corruption. I don't think they would be part of the Illuminati if the Illuminati is corrupt. And a rogue, a penetration tester. That sounds bad. That sounds bad. Penetration tester. This is a family show, people. Corporations legally hire them to break into secure buildings and hack networks to find security flaws. That is a penetration tester. Basically, if you have ever seen Escape Plan, that's what Sylvester Stallone does in Escape Plan. Only it's not testing networks; it's testing the secureness of prisons. Hold on, we're getting to the spellcasters now, Kirk. We got the spellcasters: the cleric, the druid, the bard, the wizard, the sorcerer, and the warlock. The cleric, a crisis de-escalation negotiator. And when I look at de-escalation negotiator, I look at Bruce Willis um in the Fifth Element when he's on the Flossed in Paradise and the aliens are asking for a negotiator and Bruce Willis comes out and shoots the alien in the head and then asks who else wants to negotiate. That's what I consider a negotiator. That's a negotiator. But a crisis de-escalation negotiator, they step into high stress, dangerous situations to bring the peace, calm minds, and heal emotional trauma. Emotional damage. A druid is an urban forester or a rewilding consultant. They design green infrastructure, rooftop ecosystems, and reintroduce native apex predators to parks. They don't necessarily have to also do native apex predators, but also native fauna, native flora, stuff like that. A bard is a brand strategist, hype content creator. They manipulate public perception, craft visual narratives, and control the social discourse. A wizard. Here's for you, Kirk. Is a data scientist or an actuary. They spend decades studying complex systems, analyzing raw code, and projecting future outcomes using formulas. So basically, I think of a wizard as not a tech bro, but more like a Wall Street hedge fund manager or a Wall Street stock trader. If you were a ranger, you'd be a panda handler. Nice. Wait a minute. 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 You can't be a panhandler. It's illegal to be a panhandler in freaking Texas. A sorcerer. Now. I think they got this maybe backwards, or maybe they both could do the same thing. Sorcerer is a day trader crypto whale. They rely purely on gut instinct, high risk tolerance, and raw, unearned luck to manipulate the market. Now, I think sorcerers and wizards could do either. The data scientist and actuary, day trader, crypto whale. I think those are interchangeable between the two. No. You should tell everyone that it's illegal in Texas to be a panhandler because everybody in Texas does panhandling. And it's annoying. Stay at that stoplight and be like, they knock on my window. Got 20 bucks? No, I don't got 20 bucks. A warlock is a corporate MLM consultant. They signed a predatory contract with a powerful entity and now survive by recruiting others into the pyramid. A warlocks are Posy schemers. Warlocks are the brains and brawn behind the Posy scheme or the Ponzi scheme. Yeah, Ponzi scheme. Oh, that's great. That's absolutely great. The half casters and specialists, the artist, the artificer, intellectual property patent attorney. He's a lawyer. They invent complex gadgets and spend hours aggressively defending their blueprints from copycats. Sounds right. The ranger. This, this is absolutely Puffy Cheeto. This is absolutely for you. This is absolutely for you. A ranger is a search and rescue canine handler. They track missing hikers across extreme terrain, navigate by stars, and survive for weeks isolated in nature. Warlocks are hey girls. So there is the modern for yokai, there is the modern jobs for all the classes. If you want me to find another job for a different class that was not listed here tonight, please send me the email. Say, hey, what about a modern what subclasses? Do subclasses. I don't care. Let's get them because I actually like this. Though a ranger could also be an archaeologist. So who knows? Well, everybody, it is that time of the podcast. Web nerds. No corner of the internet is hidden from them. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it was a different type of question, Yoke. I had to put it in. I really did. And I really appreciate it. Great question. Oh, now I unfortunately did not put the pictures up for who is in the Deadly Dungeon tonight because it still has 2 weeks ago's Deadly Dungeon pictures up. And that's only because the computer has the new stuff on it and the laptop still has the old stuff on it. So forgive me for this. Forgive me for this. But I also didn't put in our this information so you guys can see it. But I will give it to you. So we'll just go to our bracket. because we had in battle one of the, what is this? Just semifinals? No, this is the quarterfinals, right? No, this is the knockout round. The quarterfinals are next, semifinals are after that. Battle one of the knockout round, we had John Wick going up against Michael Knight. Let's go through their profiles. John Wick's an elite assassin, near superhuman pistol and close quarters marksmanship, rapid reload and movement, expert in tactical grappling and knives, relentless and adaptive. Michael Knight is a highly trained operative and driver, skilled in hand to hand and firearms, with access to kit and AI equipped supercar, offering sensors, defensive systems, non lethal countermeasures, and high mobility. Tactical plans. John Wick uses stealth speed and lethal precision to create fleeting firing windows. Exploit cover and timing to close for a decisive takedown. Target vehicle sensors or driver vulnerabilities if kit is present. Michael keeps his distance using kit sensors and mobility, uses non-lethal systems and vehicle defenses to disable or deter Wick, and avoid predictable approaches and use kit when control engagement to control engagement tempo. Uh, in close quarters dominance, lethal precision, and the ability to exploit blind spots and force dismounts, John Wick wins 54% of the time. While kit sensors, mobility, and defensive systems, and the ability to control engagement lead Michael Knight to win 46% of the time. However, we don't go by this. We go by what you guys wanted in the Discord. And in the Discord, it was 28% Michael Knight, 63% John Wick. The final verdict. This is a razor contest. Well, it was in the Battle Simulator. With Kit in play, Michael keeps fighting at vehicle range. Michael can neutralize Wick's strengths and win. Wick's best route is to force dismount to exploit sensor blind spots and finish quickly in close quarters. Slight edge goes to John overall because his lethal efficiency and adaptability give him a more consistent path to a decisive finish. Win Kit can be neutralized or denied. What do you mean, John Wick or Rick O'Connell, Kevin? That was Speed Racer. That was Speed Racer and Rick O'Connell. Speed Racer's a master driver, exceptional control in the Mach 5 with built-in gadgets, jumps, saws, homing, etc. Reflexes and tactics optimized for high-speed maneuvering and vehicular improvisation. Rick O'Connell is a rugged adventurer and ex-soldier, skilled with pistols and rifles, brutal in close quarters, expert improviser in ruins and trap-rich environments, high resilience against environmental hazards. Look at my bracket. I can't see the bracket. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me see the bracket. Did I get the numbers mixed up? Because the numbers are going to be the numbers are going to be right across the board. Oh no, that's not the right bracket. Hold on. Hold on. No, that's not the right bracket because remember we had I didn't change that out. I thought I changed that out. Da, 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 da. Hold on. Pictures. No, it's in actual pictures, not. I didn't put it there. No, because this was the original bracket, and then we had we re we reseated everybody. So this, come on, that is the new bracket. And I'm sorry, John Wick was 75-25. And Rick O'Connell and Speed Racer was the 28-63. So there you go. How's that? How's that grab everybody? That's the better bracket. Thank you for that catch, Kevin. Well, I would have liked Kit and Speed Racer to go forward because that would have been a matchup. Speed Racer versus and the Mach 5 versus Michael Knight and Kit. But no, you guys chose it. But uh Speed Racer with vehicle mobility, gadget versatility, and ability to avoid and disable threats in the 100 battle simulation beats Rick O'Connell 71-29. So it's really not that bad. I mean, the numbers are kind of reversed, but 68 and or 28 and 63, that's not too far off from the numbers. You guys just chose the wrong sides. We need a preferred matchups special episode. Okay, okay. You guys give me a preferred matchups from everything we've had, and we'll do a preferred matchup special episode. Now, I hate this because I don't like using touchpads. Especially this touchpad. It's sensitive. If Speed keeps the fight on the move and uses Mach 5's gadgets intelligently, he dominates. Rick's path to victory is narrow but real. Lure Speed into confined, trap-rich terrain or disable the car early. Most scenarios favor Speed Racer unless the arena neutralizes vehicle mobility. Speed Racer Michael Knight has got to be one. Yes. No one can take out my Brendan Fraser. Look, you said the same thing about your Nicolas Cage, and what happened? Nicolas Cage is gone. So Brendan Fraser's coming back in the Mummy in the Mummy 5 or whatnot. Just for all you out there who don't know. Ah, with that being said, everybody, it is now time for the Wheel of Names to determine who's going forward. And let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can do this. I got to be able to see what I'm doing here. So, see if I can do this. Aha! There we go. Now, we have the Wheel of Morality or Wheel of Mortality. You know what? I need to move this over here so I can. Yes, it's the Wheel of Mortality. And how many are we choosing this week, guys? Are we doing another two? I think two's a good matchup. I think two's a good matchup. So let's spin that wheel. Wheel of Mortality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the next two who are going to burn. It looks like battle one is going to be Ash Williams versus Sarah Connor. Yes, Wheel of Morality is a different show. So, Ash Williams versus Sarah Connor is going to be our first matchup. And Wheel of Mortality, turn, turn, turn. Our next two individuals who are going to burn. Kirk's not going to like this. It's Flash Gordon versus Neo. Flash Gordon versus Neo. Now, does Flash Gordon's backing of Queen help him in this? We only got four more left, everybody. Four more. And that, my friends, has come to the end of the show. Though it's not the end of the show because we still have good things of the week. And what is everybody's good things of the week? My good thing of the week is I'm in North Carolina for undisclosed amount of time. Could be 60 days, could be 90 days, could be 50 weeks. Who knows? Who absolutely knows? And I made it here safely. I started my trip on Sunday and I got here on Monday. I made it safe. So, what is everybody else's good things of the week? Jim, is Jim still in here with us? Because Jim said he had some news. I don't know if he wants to share the news now or if he wants to share the news in the Discord. But if you guys let Flash win to the Queen against me, that's funny. That's hilarious. Bill and Ted would worship Queen. Some of that has to spill over to Neo. Keanu may run away with the competition with all his characters. Crimson Honda's getting a new car. Is it going to be a Honda? And is it going to be Crimson Red? Because that would be awesome. But congratulations on getting the new car. Puffy Cheeto, I know there's got to be something new, something going on with you. Cart volunteered with the cat rescue group. Two of ours, which had a rough time getting back into shape, were finally well enough to go back to their home grounds today. That's great. That's new. That's good. Good thing of the week. AC has started running good again at the house, so don't need a repairman. Took kids to the DMV to get their first state ID. Nice. Nice. Oh, news in the Discord is not good news. Okay. I was afraid of that. Uh, good thing of the week too, actually. Finally had an interview today. Seemed like it went okay. Getting a new dog tomorrow. That's good, but the news, I'm sorry. It's a black Chrysler 300. Ooh. Well, badges can be removed and replaced, and a wrap costs maybe $700, maybe. So you could get your Chrysler 300 wrapped in crimson red wrap and then badge it as a Honda. So yeah, fingers crossed for the interview, Jim. We always like to have people have good in their lives. So hey, and that's lawful good. Look, we brought it around. We brought it right around full circle. Oh, well, everybody, it is 10 p.m. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 10 p.m. in Central Time. It's 11 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have run the course for the show tonight. And I think you guys tell me. I think the show went completely well for being done on the laptop. I think concept proof positive. Absolutely. Oh, with that being said, next week's episode will also be on the laptop. Um, yeah. So thank you guys for showing up tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next week. Same Rogue Bard time, same Rogue Bard channel. Why can't I do anything? There we go. Same Rogue time, same Rogue Bard channel. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. And if you send this podcast out to people, I have I have faith that you guys can build this group, build this community up so much. If you haven't joined the Discord, please join the Discord. Like Puffy Cheeto's brother, if you're not in the Discord, get the link from your sister and join the Discord. But with that being said, we will be back here next week. Same Rogue Bard time, same Rogue Bard channel. 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. I am in Eastern time zone. I am in Asheville, North Carolina now for the time being. Yeah, I don't like that though. I don't like the how it sounds like it's underwater or something, but that might just be me. Yes, have a great weekend all. With that being said, please, if you have any questions, send them to roguebardadvice@gmail.com. That's roguebardadvice@gmail.com. And I will answer any and all questions. Pirate questions, archaeology questions, D&D themed questions is where we thrive. But hopefully you guys have fun. Stay safe out there. And remember, take what you want. Give nothing back. And always tune in to Rogue Bard Advice. With that, I say, have a great weekend all. And I will see you later. I am your host. I have been your host. I am the Pirate Archaeologist. I am the Rogue Thief Pirate Archaeologist. I am Captain Bartholomew Bones McCoy, or simply Chris. And I will see you guys next week.